put up, but.
Happy New
Hey,
Year,
same
hey.
to you.
All right, we're live. Okay.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
I was just gonna text you, but I'll pull you off that. We're live and
Makes a difference.
Happy New Year's. Okay, we're ready to go. You guys ready? Okay, well. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order, and today is Monday, January 17th, 2019. It is 5:30 p.m. We are assembled here in the City of Oxford Commissioners Boardroom at City Hall for our first agenda meeting of the year, and I'd like to wish everybody first a Happy New Year, and I hope you all had a glorious holiday season and Christmas and New Year and all those things. And if you have a cell phone or electronic device, I ask you to please turn it off or mute it. And Cindy has distributed the signing sheets for the Code of Ethics, and she will send out by email the actual Code of Ethics, the text, so that you all have that to review for the acknowledging that you've seen it and reviewed it for this year. And with that, we'll move forward to the agenda for next Tuesday, the 15th, the regular session. Before I do that, we've got our reminders here at the bottom of the first page, Friday, January 18th. If you haven't RSVP'd for the Chamber banquet, please do you, Cindy, you want that, or you want Becky? Me. Or let Cindy know. City offices are closed the 21st in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. And the Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast is that morning at 8 a.m. at the Oxford Baptist Church. And Monday, January 28th is the Chamber of Commerce annual banquet. And do you want us to RSVP with you for that as well, or directly to the Chamber? Me. Okay, so RSVP. And excellent, so we move forward. And we expect Reverend Bishop Betts of Cornerstone Church to do the invocation and standard beginning. Delegation, Wally Hurst, who's the Executive Director of Families Living Violence Free. He's newly hired, I think, in November, is going to come and give us an update for them, and so that you all can meet him. Any questions on any of that? Okay, then item 6 is just passing in your signature pages for the Code of Ethics. Item 7 is to consider the issue regarding insurance benefits for retired elected officials. And you have the summary there, and we've discussed this in past meetings. Does anybody have any questions on this item at this time?
I have a comment too. We talked about it at our last meeting, some agenda meeting. And we have report that somebody with the league said this, somebody with the league said that. Why don't we ask our attorneys to contact the League of Municipalities, their legal department, have somebody from the league at our meeting. They can't be here next Tuesday night, do it in February. I don't see a rush. Stand at the podium and tell us what was done, it was legal, this is what your obligations are, or what you're not, and we can make a decision based on what that person said, not what he said, she said. I heard this, but somebody told me that.
Okay.
What do y'all think?
I agree.
Pleasure of the board?
I like that. Is this gonna be the same person that sent out a couple of letters to?
Y'all want somebody at the league or somebody at the Institute of Government, or either one?
I'd
I
rather,
don't know.
I'd rather have the league, because I've contacted the School of Government, and I get answers, and in the last paragraph will always say, it's up to the board. Every time I've had contact with them, at least a half a dozen times.
All right.
So I'd like for somebody from the league, from the legal department.
The league actually provides our insurance.
Yeah, and they're our risk management.
The league does provide our insurance.
All right.
So this person is going to give us a definite directive.
That's what I'll ask them.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Mr.
That's what
Burnett?
I'll ask them to do.
Well, that's their job.
It may end up being the same as Commissioner
Up to the
Strickland said,
board.
that it's, you know, you can do this or you can do that, and in the end, it's up to the board, but they can clarify all the commentary.
Okay.
Well, the thing about it, Mayor, is if there was an illegal act done before, and it's very obvious there was, I don't want to be a part of another illegal act. So I want a legal opinion as to what we should do. That's why I'm asking for the league to do it with their risk management department.
Okay?
Okay, so is that different from the letters that you received, Mr. Attorney, where you got conflicting letters?
It might be.
It's a
The
different,
girl that was at the league is not there anymore. There's somebody else that's their legal counsel, but they got several lawyers over there. I'll find the one that we need to talk with.
Move to the front.
Could you hear what I said? Could or couldn't?
Just move, you can't hear me.
So Commissioner Curran said that there's a lot of he said, she said, they said, and requested that the attorney consult with the League of Municipalities. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. That our attorney consult with the League of Municipalities to get a reading on what we can or ought to do. And then Commissioner Strickland said that when he has spoken with the School of Government, they don't say what we ought to do, but rather what we can do, that in the end it is up to the board. And the discussion that we've had has been that may be the same information that comes back from the league, but our manager has said that the city's health insurance is carried by the league, and Commissioner Strickland said that he would like their risk management group to be able to give this board feedback on everything that has taken place and what are the options for the board. And going back to Commissioner Curran, he said if they cannot get that information for us by the January meeting, it's okay, we can wait, but let's hear from them. Did I capture everybody's commentaries sufficiently?
Yes, ma'am.
I have further comment. I would like to add on here, on the last line, that when the policy was taken away, because that's not on here, the policy is no longer in effect, so the vote one way or another will not affect anybody on this board but one person, and I can't help that. And that's also been misleading to the public that it would benefit us. It will not benefit anyone on this board.
and to me, that has absolutely
It
nothing
does.
to do with my decision.
And mine either, mine
I
either,
don't care if it would benefit anybody else on this board.
mine either, but when your name is particularly called and it says that, you know, that it will benefit you, that needs to be
Oh, okay,
taken.
well, I didn't know that happened,
Oh,
but in any event, the question for me is whether or not it is legal for us to do it, and I think the approach of hearing from the league probably would be a good idea, and so we're gonna have that person physically here in case we have
Yes.
questions, right?
We'll try to get them here.
They should be. Because they should be, so if we got questions.
I thought that was what you asked.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's great. Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Are we ready to move on? Okay. New business, item 8, consider adopting an ordinance regarding begging, panhandling, or soliciting alms. This was an ordinance that has been discussed in the Public Safety Committee in an aim of eliminating these behaviors and asking for money from the citizens of Oxford. Is there,
Yes, ma'am. I asked the city attorney to take a look at this in light of something that we saw on the news not too long ago regarding Greensboro and the city of Greensboro, and I believe a lawsuit that's been filed by the ACLU in regards to their ordinance. Tom has done that. He has a recommendation as well as some information to pass along to the board in regards to our panhandling ordinance, in regards to what you might wish to do.
okay, Mr. Attorney.
The ordinance that we have prepared is very similar to the one that's used in the city of Greensboro, and that is, there's been a group that's filed a lawsuit against them to have that declared unconstitutional. Their ordinance is not the same as ours, but our ordinance contains a lot of the provisions that theirs contains. So it would be my recommendation that you table doing this pending what happens in that case.
Okay?
As chairman of the public safety, I agree. Just
Okay.
take it off until he can get it
Okay,
straight.
we'll just delay that for the time being. Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Manager and Mr. Attorney, for looking into that. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you, Commissioner Woodley. Okay, so this is tabled for the moment until further information from Greensboro. Moving on to item 9, a resolution for $1.5 million in additional funding for the 2017 water line replacement project. The city has the opportunity to receive a low-interest loan from the state of up to $1.5 million without completing a new application. This will allow us to complete water mains that were bid as alternates and subsequently had to be removed from the 2017 water line replacement project when the project was over budget. Consider adopting a resolution requesting the state loans for, and grants for drinking water. So, any questions? We do have
Yes, ma'am.
Amy Ratliff here. Yes, sir?
I don't know if it was last month or the month before, when we were notified we could get this. I asked if it was possible to get a breakdown on how much money we had borrowed to this point, what we had in grants, loans, what was the payback, when it was gonna be paid back. We haven't received it yet. Before we agree on another $1.5 million, I think we ought to know what we spent to this point and how we're gonna pay it back.
I can get that for you, this week.
Okay. All right, I asked for it 2 months ago.
Is there anything that we need in addition to what you're sending us from Hawk Ong, our finance director, with respect to payback, or do you have it all in one document?
As part of the Rappahellis water rate model study, we have that information plugged into that, and I believe Hawk has that information as well. This is the $1.5 million that we had discussed a couple meetings ago.
Right.
They just asked that we pass a resolution to go along with the previous request.
Right, okay. And I think that, so Commissioner Curran, though, is just asking that we can maybe have a summary that puts it all in one place so the board doesn't lose track of our debts. Am I correct?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of months ago. We would have we would know what we had borrowed, what the payback was.
Right, the debt service schedule, so if that includes the debt, but if you have additional to add with the debt service schedule, Hawk, can you make sure we have it so that it's clear for all the board members? Great, thank you. Item 10, consider adopting the revised 2016 capital improvement plan. Over the past 2 years since the adoption of the 2016 capital improvement plan, the city and our consultants have made a number of discoveries that have moved projects up or down the original priority list, which include but are not limited to the need to replace water mains on roads that would be resurfaced by DOT or the city to avoid cutting new pavement. The DOT requested certain water mains be replaced due to the impact on their roads, such as Martin Luther King Jr. Water mains that broke subsequent to the 2016 CIP and need to be repaired sooner than planned. These changes in the plan need to be adopted to move forward with current and future projects with the Division of Water Infrastructure, and you do have support information on that in our current agenda in attachment 10. Thank you, Cindy, for getting that out, and Amy. Are there any questions at this time for Amy Ratliff or anybody else? Okay. Item 11, consider approving a change order for Park Construction 2017 water main replacement project. The city would need to approve a change order with Park Construction to add the alternate bid items and contingency in the amount of $1.5 million. That's the $1.5 million that we mentioned earlier. This additional loan is being provided by the Division of Water Infrastructure to complete the 2017 water main replacement project. So I think this goes hand in hand with the other, but you'll have the supporting information that you've requested. Any other questions on that item? Number 12, 2017 Sewer State Reserve Project Task Order for Construction Administration. I would like to authorize the city manager to sign the task order for the construction phase and engineering services for the 2017 Sewer State Reserve Project with Ms. Gill Associates. The original task order covered the design and bidding of the project. This task order will also cover the engineering services required for the work associated with the construction phase and geotechnical oversight and expenses of the grant and 0% interest loan project for the city that's been accepted for our water system. Any questions on this for the manager or Amy?
Now, is that what we are voting on, is item 12 with item 11?
No, sir.
They're
And it
not.
actually should say accepted of the city accepted for the sewer system.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I apologize.
And
No problem.
I missed that one, I apologize. It's a separate project.
Okay.
Okay, great, thank you for clarifying. Item 13, consider allowing electronic advertisement for bidding. And this is only specifically for bidding purposes. While electronic advertisement can be used on any project, this would be especially applicable for projects that follow under General Statute 143-129, for which the procedure for letting of public contracts of $500,000 or greater for construction or repair work, or $90,000 or greater for the purchase of apparatus, supplies, materials, or equipment. Department heads could still use advertising by newspaper in addition to electronic advertisement on smaller projects when they deem appropriate. And am I correct in thinking this will be a cost-saving measure to the city as far as the ease and cost of advertising electronically?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions?
Just
Colleagues.
a question. I know you talked about this, Mr. Manager, but what kind of cost savings are we talking about? I mean, to do it this way, do you have an idea of how much the city would save on average?
It could be as much as $1,000, depending upon the length of the advertisement required and its complexity.
So one advertisement, you could save that number?
Good, yes, sir.
But I thought we also said that no matter what we did, we were gonna put something small to let
In our
people know
local
that didn't
paper.
have computers and so forth.
Right.
It says in addition to electronic.
Well, it said could still.
Absolutely. We'll continue to, place the notices for public hearings and other things, as we traditionally have done in the local newspaper. But typically folks from Raleigh or Greensboro or other parts of the state and even other states are not looking at the local paper for bidding opportunities. They're looking at certain professional electronic publications that are getting that information there, and we'd like to place them there.
Okay, thank you very much. This also allows for ease. Do you only publicly advertise, or do you also send it out to known vendors when you do that? So in our effort to, for example, hire or offer opportunities to historically underutilized vendors,
Typically, we provide them, the vendors, with the notice of the advertisement and where
Okay.
to find it.
Great, okay, so it can get a broader reach. Excellent, thank you very much. Item 14, request the Board of Commissioners approve the updated City of Oxford water shortage policy, a policy authorizing the declaration of a water shortage, establishing procedures and measures for the conservation of water resources, and prescribing penalties by the City of Oxford Board of Commissioners. This policy is required by the Division of Water Resources, and you have it in attachment 14. Are there any questions at this time? Other than a desire for less rain. That's it. And with that, we are at the end of our formal items on the agenda. We have the consent agenda, which right now at this time is just accepting the finance report from our finance director and the December meeting minutes. Any questions on anything thus far? If not, oh, yes, sir.
You know, as I was thinking about the insurance issues, that we might have somebody from the league to come and speak with us. Is there any way to see if we might be able to get something ahead of time from that person that's gonna come speak to give us an idea of what they're gonna say to us? And the reason I'm asking that question is, you know, they may come and give us an answer one way or the other. I'd like some lead time in case I might have some questions that I might ask. I'm just wondering, can they give us something?
Yeah, that's.
As opposed to them just showing up and telling us.
We will do our best. We will make that contact as soon as tomorrow to start that ball rolling to see if we can get that to you as quickly as we possibly can. Can't speak for them, but we'll do our part.
That's great.
Excuse me, I have a question. Would the public be allowed to ask them questions also?
Generally speaking,
To clarify, you know,
that's not how our board meetings work. That, you know, the public has the opportunity to speak during the public comment period, which the way our, agenda is set right now, public comment would become beforehand.
Right, no, I just meant if you don't understand what they were saying, I don't know what legal terms or whatever they're going to use, so.
I think if there was a question of not
If
understanding,
it comes up.
conceivably that might be allowed. But generally speaking, when somebody comes to a board meeting, it is to present to the board
I understand that.
for the board's consideration.
I was just curious if.
Yeah. If they come, they'll come in the delegation type. So actually, that works. Cindy Bowen has clarified for me, and that does make sense, that they would be a delegation, so they would come and be on the agenda in the delegation portion, which comes before the actual agenda item, and public comment comes after that. So you could maybe use your public comment period if you were signed up as an opportunity to include a question based on what you've heard. That would work. Okay. With that, Commissioner Woodruff, anything to add?
No, ma'am.
Commissioner Bullock? Commissioner Fields?
No.
Commissioner Bridges?
No?
Mayor Pro Tem Harris?
ma'am.
Commissioner Curran?
No, ma'am.
Commissioner Strickland?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Manager?
I do have one item that I'd like to share. Just please take one and pass it down. As mentioned in the Friday update, we've prepared a draft version of a proposed nonprofit agency application guidelines for you to review. Just take one copy. We'll also send it out electronically to you. We'll provide you with an opportunity to review it and then kind of request that the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee call a meeting in order to review this and, if need be, get it in place so that we can utilize it for the upcoming budget process and consideration of nonprofit agency funding, agencies requesting funds from the city.
Because
Just
I know
as soon as you're
when
ready.
you start your application,
We will start it just as soon as we get this thing ready to go.
so you need it.
Yes, sir.
Would you like us to have any comments completed by next meeting?
Well, what we would like to do is we would have those comments either into me or at the committee meeting, when the committee meeting is called.
Okay. When is,
We're working on that with the
Okay.
chair.
okay, great, excellent, thank you. And we went all the way down. Mr. Burnett, do you have anything to add?
No, ma'am.
All right, well, the only thing I have to add is it's a great new year. So, thank you all. Happy New Year to each and every one of you up here on the dais, and Happy New Year to all of you, and I wish you health and prosperity, and thank you for coming. And is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Field. All in favor, signify, excuse me?
Is that to accept the agenda?
Oh, we do the final accepting of the agenda at the
Yeah,
meeting.
right.
So it's a motion to adjourn. All in favor, signal so by saying aye. Aye. All right. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Happy New Year. Hey, how are you?
Oh, good.
Yeah, Young's gonna be playing Thursday at 1 o'clock at Bell's. Nisi? Karen? Yeah. Yeah.
That's Frank Strickland. I know this. I recognize that. That's a whole other term. Uh-oh.
Someone expected a nice Christmas party.
Not to send any.
Tell you what, your joints are working really well.
Like I have a bearing on it.
So, don't send